Hey everyone, this is Jenny Garcia and this is a Project Life process video. I usually start with the full spread and then put the cards, and I thought I was filming, and when I looked through my footage it wasn't there. So at the end you're gonna see the whole thing, but this is a card from Citrus Twist Kits. Every item is from Citrus Twist Kits. And I love this card because you can use it as a title card, or you can put a photo like I did, or you can journal. And I use my Lawn Fawn Stitch Circle die to cut this photo into a circle. And the photo is a picture of water balloons. I also have some picture of us standing outside for the water balloon. And I am going to use this stamp, and this is one thing that I love about clear stamps, and it's that you can turn them a little bit and curve them to fit a circle or a curve. So that's what I did, and I'm going to use this ink. It's Mojito. It's from Studio Calico. It's the brand that was, I think, a beautiful mess, but now you can just get it as Mojito from Studio Calico. I also wanted to put something in the middle of the balloons. Try to use these enamel dots, but lately I don't know what's up with me enamel dots, that we're not working well together. So I'm going to try to use an enamel dot, and then I'm going to remove it. The good thing about digital items is that, you know, if you ruin one, you can always print another one. So I always try to have at least 2 of each die cut. The bad thing though is that I use Canon matte photo paper, so if you peel something off, it will peel off the ink. And I'm going to use this word memories, which came in I believe the Travelogue kit. And I'm going to use the Mono Aqua liquid glue, which is clear and it dries really fast, which is good because I dropped it like the little clumsy person I am. And I just use one of the spaces from the die cut as the eye, the dot in the eye, because I lost the dot. I always take the die cuts out of the package so I can use them like I have at the top. An organizer is just easier for me to look through them. And I love how this card turned out. And here is a photo of my daughter standing outside, and my husband and my daughter were looking at the balloons. And I got a question about how I add a border in these photos, and I still use the app Pick Stitch, but what bothered me about adding these borders is that they were never even. They were always like a little bit slimmer on the sides. So I did that for a few years, and then I went back to not having borders unless it's a square photo or a photo that has like a 9 by 16 perspective. So if I can get it to the 3:2 perspective or 3:4, I will go for that. And I'm just layering some word die cuts with a label and some staples, and I also used one of my little stars because I was trying to make the enamel dots happen, but I wasn't feeling it that day. Sometimes it's just better for other projects. I use them. I share a video a few days ago, but I made a little layout and they were perfect there, but this time I'm gonna try to use the little stars. And this is gonna be my title card. I'm gonna keep it super simple. I love the pattern and the blue. The labels are from the Cherish Digital Elements, and this is why I always like to print some that are pretty long. That way I can put 2 weeks in one label. And this little ruler is from, it comes with the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens, the individual ones. I always get questions about it. It's really awesome. It's very flexible. You can keep it inside a notebook so it's not bulky. But it's usually for Japanese calligraphy, and I use it this way. I love these copper alphas. They didn't have an ampersand, so I had to use one from another alpha sticker sheet. But I've been wanting to use these, and I might put them in my December daily, which is on the list of projects I need to finish. I was also trying to look for something to put on that left side, just to have a little bit of balance, because it was looking a little bit too heavy on the bottom right. So just by adding a little bit on the left was gonna help the balance a little bit. And I wanted this to look even more like a ticket, and that is why I use those Fiskars scissors, which I don't use often. I like deco scissors, but sometimes it's kind of conflicting using them for me. But in this case, for like adding a little extra detail, it just works out perfect. And this spread is from 2020, so my daughter was doing school at that precise moment. So I have a few photos of her. This was in the very beginning when they were not on the computer the whole day. But her teacher was so good, like her first grade teacher, he was so good at keeping the students engaged and doing silly videos. He did an amazing job. I just added 2 die cuts to cover like a little blank space. We also got really into Animal Crossing, and that week we finished the museum, the part with all the dinosaurs. And my little one liked when everyone played at the same time. So I have a few screenshots of that. If you are a gamer or you have a gamer in your life, what you can do is you take a screenshot, which is the little button on the left, and then you can go to your photos and you can text yourself the photos. And I feel that that's like the most convenient way to use it. I think you can also do an email, but for me the text was a lot easier. And this is another photo of her days on the computer, and I just want to cover that blank space on the top, and I wanted to layer this die cut that says "I'll never forget this" with a label. And I have a bunch. Citrus Twist Kids has a digital shop, and whenever they have a label in one of the kits, I print a bunch of them because you can always keep using them. So it's a really versatile thing to have on your stash. I'm just covering a little bit the photo with the kits. And that, like 5 minutes before the lockdown happened, my daughter hit like a growth spurt, and all the clothes she had stopped fitting. It was like her body was just waiting for a pandemic to grow. So we got her a bunch of new clothes, and I was like asking her to take pictures so I can send to my sister, and this was one of them. And the art activity for that week was to put eyes on a bunch of items to make them look like they had a face. And if you, I think that I have it on a video, or maybe it's a video for Patreon. My microphone, the one that I used to do the voiceover, has eyes because that was one of the items she chose. And then she named the microphone Mikey the microphone, and that's how Mikey was born. And here she has like it's a can, and it looks so cute. It looks like it's smiling. And one of my favorite things to print and cut from the digital elements is circles. I always do them in 1 inch and a little bit smaller, unless it's something that I really like, and then I do at least 2 inches. That way I can put it in the middle of a card to use as a filler card. And I used some scraps to make a bunch of these hearts with my lawn fawn die. And this little circle said out and about, and she was like riding her scooter, so I thought it was perfect for this photo. And I always like to layer my little word, either the stickers or the cut aparts, with washi tape. And when I get a kit, or when I have to print a whole kit, I always pull out a bunch of washi tape to match the kit. And I have a lot of washi tape. And this card is pretty awesome because you can use it again for writing your journaling, or you can use it as a title card. I don't use 3x4 title cards often, but once in a while I have to, because all my 4x6 spaces are taken by photos. So it's my last resort, not my favorite thing to do. I even prefer to make a photo my title card. So this was just something that I lettered that week. And then I'm gonna come back and add something to a bunch of the cards, which are numbers, so I can write a little bit about, you know, what the photos were, add some journaling. It's one of my favorite methods for journaling. And these are the stickers that I use. They're puffy, and I believe that they are from the Cherish collection. If they are still on the Citrus Twist Kits shop, I will add them to it. Sometimes I need to like add a little extra, and that's what I add, the little heart. My grandma passed away that week, so I have one of her favorite pictures, which was a picture of her and my grandfather. And I just always try, when I try to add these numbers, I do it either in a corner where there's nothing, or I try to add it to a cluster in a way that it makes sense. And I'm glad I didn't add the enamel dot, because it worked out perfect for that little flag. Like here, there was nothing really going on, and the photo was such a close-up that I didn't want to add anything, because I didn't want to cover the book. She was reading Geronimo Stilton, and this one just fit perfect in that space. And here is another, instead of picking the other photo that I took of that day, I picked one that didn't have any embellishments. And I'm going to use this card to write my journaling, but I wanted to add a little something to embellish, and I use that card that it's like a photo, like a vintage postcard. It says rest and relaxation, and I love these alphas. These alphas are the best, and of course they have numbers. I'm a big fan. And I'm going to use one stamp from the slow down stamp set. I'm just going to stamp multiple times. I just felt like it needed one little extra thing, and then that would be like a visual triangle. You have the numbers, you have the little postcard and the stamping, and it just works out perfectly. And this is the whole spread. I hope you enjoyed it. Kind of a sad week to document, but I do like looking at some of these photos. I hope you enjoy the process. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.